My husband yells at me, reasons and what to do. If your husband yells often, there is likely an underlying problem. The problem can be solved in many cases so you can return to marital bliss. Why does my husband yell at me? Common triggers and underlying issues: they re-stressed. They grew up that way, they have a mental health disorder. They're sleep deprived, they're maintaining control. Is yelling in a relationship abuse? Is it okay to yell at your partner? My husband yells at me. What should I do? Tell them how you feel. Set firm boundaries, ask them to seek counseling, evaluate your own behavior. Develop a safety plan, work together to get the best solution. Final thoughts: reading time, 6 minutes. When you find yourself realizing, my husband yells at me quite often, it can be rather distressing. You likely feel hurt, alone, and perhaps confused. Typically don't thrive with frequent yelling and screaming, so it's important to get to the bottom of the issue. If your husband yells often, there is likely an underlying problem. In many cases, the problem can be solved, so you can return to a state of marital bliss. Why does my husband yell at me? Common triggers and underlying issues. If your husband yells often, you likely want to know the reason behind this behavior. Chances are that you simply want to resolve the problem so you don't continue to deal with their yelling and screaming. The underlying reasons behind a yelling husband don't excuse the behavior. However, they can help you understand their behavior a little better and get closer to a solution. Below are some common reasons for yelling at a spouse. After learning more about these underlying reasons, you'll be ready to move toward solutions. First, not everyone has healthy stress management skills, so if your husband is under a significant amount of stress, he might resort to yelling. A study in the Journal of Family Psychology found that high levels of stress are associated with more conflict between spouses. So, if they're under stress at work or perhaps worried about finances, this may spill over into the marriage. If they don't communicate well under stress, you might find that they're yelling at you more often. It could just be that they're taking their frustration out on you. They grew up that way. Research has shown that issues in the family of origin can contribute to conflict within a marriage. In simpler terms, people who grow up with a significant amount of fighting are more likely to have conflict in their own marriages.